Welcome back. Episode 8 of Learn Programming. One thing I wanted to show you is right here. I had this at the end of last stream. I had this to 20 because that's what it used to be. But when I made the sprite taller, I forgot to update this to 24, meaning when I was grounded, I was drawing it as if it were a 20 height sprite when it's really 24. So it was cutting off the feet of our character, which I thought he looked a little stubby, but now you can see that he's actually, a little bit taller, and that makes the animation look smoother now that we can see his all of his legs, I already committed that change. It was like right as soon as I ended the stream, I realized that. So I fixed it right away. Okay. This 2 question mark here, I was curious what that was, but I remembered right before stream I included 2 new files, 2 new sounds, a jump and a land. So that's the flap, and then that's when he touches the ground, he lands. So I've got to import those into our main. And then as far as the grand scheme of today goes, I'm hoping we can get some kind of collision detection going. And hopefully I can do it without referencing the CS50 game dev tutorial code, because that's what taught me how to do collision stuff. So I'm going to try to do it without it, but if I'm stuck or whatever, I can always look up some collision code and get mine working. But we'll see. So I'm just adding a key to our sounds table. And that key is a string of whatever it's called, and it's an audio source. So flap.mp3, and then flap. Is that right? Flap.mp3 and land mp3. Yep. And then I guess, yeah, I don't know. I was going to say to take out these duplicates, but I'm going to have to figure out how to, we actually need one more sound, which is the collision sound. The footage I just recorded has some of those. So I'm just going to also do that while I'm at it, because then it'll also, it's only the side collision. So I'm going to have to detect bottom collision to know if my character is supposed to be grounded or not. I have to detect top collision to know if it needs to bounce off the top of a platform, bounce down from the top of a platform. And then I need the side collision to know, hey, turn around if you bump something on the side, or reverse your DX and turn around and play that sound. Play the collision sound. So I'm just gonna get that collision sound real quick. Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, perfect. So sounds like a rave going on. I'm pretty sure that's... Yeah. See, when that guy hits it, he flips, plays that sound. So I'm just going to export this as an MP3. Have it called Collide Sound or something. I don't know. Just Collide MP3. Okay. Let me make sure the normalization is okay. Okay. Yeah. So we've got the Collide, which we also need here. Okay. So first things first, let's get the flap sound working. Then the land sound. Then we'll work on our collision detection on a platform that we'll make or something. So we need to go to our landing logic. So like right here. See, and this is tricky. So like, because right now I'm hard coding in the ground. I'm saying if our player's Y is, you know, at ground level minus his sprite offset. So we're going to have to change that at some point. At some point, meaning like today. But right here, like if grounded is true, and then how about, you know, if grounded is true, or if grounded becomes true, then we play the land sound, which is sounds land play, I think. Sounds key colon function, yeah. Sounds. Okay. And then we need our flap sound, which so let's see if we have land sound and flap sound now. So for some reason, yeah, this needs to only play once, but it's continuously playing because it senses it's always landing. So it's like because like we only want to do it upon landing. So how do we do that? Let's see what our aerial logic was looking like. I don't know how to only play this once upon landing. So, like the Y position's getting updated, and then when the Y position in the air comes in contact with the ground level, then I'm resetting its height to 24. Setting its Y to be exactly above the ground. Setting grounded to be true. Taking away its Y velocity. So maybe I put it here on the, oh shoot. See, so like, yeah, I'm getting screwed here because it's all, the ground position is baked in like this. Like, to determine my character's shape and groundedness, I'm seeing if Y is higher than the ground level, which once I add another platform or something, all of that becomes busted. So this is a big question I have. My reasoning for clamping it like this was like, basically, I didn't want to be applying gravity at all times, because if I'm grounded, let's say the character's on the ground and I'm grounded, it seemed ridiculous to me to add gravity when I'm grounded like that. So I only add gravity when it's not grounded. But that gives me problems. And a reason I didn't want to do that is because then frame by frame, if I'm grounded, I would say, hey, give yourself gravity, and then check if it's colliding with a platform or the ground. And if so, reset it to be just above, and then draw it. In the next frame, it would do the same thing, add the gravity, and then I would say, if there's something beneath it colliding, then move it back up. And it seemed like a waste to be to be adding gravity on every frame, regardless of if he's standing on a platform or not. But if I'm walking off a platform, how do I know that the platform is gone? Like if he's just strutting along on a platform, how do I know that the platform beneath him is gone? I'd have to add gravity and check the collision. So I guess I just have to apply gravity at all times and then check for collision and then set its Y. But another thing is right here. So I'm thinking I think I just need to put the land sound when I detect. Oh, shoot. Yeah, I was going to say when I detect a bottom collision, but like I said, if I'm applying gravity on every frame, every single frame is going to detect that. Why is it so hard for me to think? It would be, I need to play sound only when it lands for the first time. So how do I know that it lands? And only once upon landing. Maybe I can have a landed boolean that doesn't get reset until. Already confusing myself, because I was gonna say if I have a landed boolean, then it'd be like, hey, you did detect collision. That means landed. Then if landed, play the sound, and then set to not landed. Until next time you land. But yeah, if I'm applying gravity on every frame, it's going to be like, oh, I detect a collision. Oh, you know what? No, that can work, because landed would only get false upon a jump input or or when it walks off a platform. So like if it's in free fall. So like, yeah, I might need like a free fall boolean instead of the landed. Well, and then if it's not, shoot. This is really tough. I guess we'll worry about that once we're getting some collision detection working. So let me. So I'm noticing I can't, if I flap twice one, when I just jump for the first time, the flap doesn't get triggered, the flap sound. Because this is flap while in the air. So maybe, where is my jump logic? right here. But I still don't think this will solve the pressing it twice in succession. See that? Like, I hit it twice there, but it only flapped once. I think that's okay, because it's like, how many flap sounds? That's like, if I spam up like that, do I want a flap sound every single time I press it? And that's a problem I've been trying to figure out with the walking as well, because when I had the 2-player update, I couldn't play, or like the logic for stopping the footsteps of player 1 would stop the same sound of player 2 regardless of what tier he was in. So I have been having some of those problems with the sounds when it's like more than one. I'm going to see if I can get those pixel artifacts again on the character. Yeah, see that blue in front of him kind of like flashing in real quick. I was trying to look up what could fix that, and a lot of people said to give an extra pixel of buffer here, because you see like the very end of this frame is 1 pixel away from the beginning of the next frame, and that's the kind of aberration I was seeing right there. And then people also said that maybe you should floor the X and Y positions. Floor meaning like truncate the decimal so that you didn't have any weird drawing like that. So I'll try the pixel, making it 1 pixel away first, and then if that fixes it, then that fixes it. I haven't been really noticing a problem with the rounding of the X positions or Y positions or anything, so maybe I don't have to do that, or I don't know. I guess if I have more problems moving forward, then I will fix that. So we need this same, basically everything just needs to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 pixels wider. So looking for like canvas size. Yeah, so instead of 112 wide, I want it to be 1 pixel, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I want 7 more. 7, 8, 9, so 119. I want 7 more pixels. And then will give each one of these guys 1 pixel of buffer. And then this means I'll have to change. I won't need to change the sprite size, but the X offset will need to be given 1 more pixel, I believe. Okay. Okay, I saved that as Atlas 2 because I didn't want to overwrite it just in case I messed something up. So right here, I'll just say this is now the Atlas 2, and then in my quad, in the quad, I'm saying self width plus an extra pixel. Is that right? Then in my animation, so my X offset is what I'm going to need to be shifted by an extra 1. So maybe XY width. Yeah, that's not right. I need my X offset to have that extra pixel. So I'm just going to add a 1 to the X offset. No. Because it still needs to be 0 for frame. You know, oh, shoot. Yeah, I should have added 1 blank pixel at the beginning of every sprite. That way I could have just said X offset plus 1. Because right now X offset plus 1 gives me the incorrect 0 indexed sprite. So I think I'm going to do that again and just add. Yeah, I'm going to open that player Atlas again. So I'm going to add 1 pixel at the beginning of every sprite. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So I need to go to 119. Right. 119. Okay, so there's the 1 pixel for the first one. There we go. Nope. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We'll save as PNG, and we do PNG because PNG's also got the alpha channel for the transparency. So now that I've got Atlas 2 as that offset, and then I'm setting the viewport to the same offset, just shifted to the right by 1 pixel, it should draw it at the same place, but now there is one more space of pixel in between each sprite. So maybe that'll get oopsies. Source pix just does not exist. I could have sworn I saved it in the same spot. JAWS Player Atlas. Yeah, it doesn't have the Player Atlas 2. Where did I save that then? JAWS references. Which is in my desktop, I think. Yeah. Here we go. Okay. Oh. Ooh. So that's wrong. And Player Atlas. Yeah. Is this one. So my Player Atlas is getting that Atlas 2. Then I'm setting self.atlas get dimensions as the last parameter for the quad, which should be right. Because it's like the quads should be the same width and height. I just need to set the viewport by X offset, 1 pixel higher. I just don't get why that's like all messed up. So yeah, set viewport 1 pixel moved off. And then So messed up. I would think that this +1 would do it right there on the viewport set. Oh. Well, hold on. It would have to be on all of this. Okay. So on every set viewport needs to be shifted by 1. This one's shifted by 1. This one needs to get shifted by 1. This one needs to get shifted by 1. That one needs to get shifted by 1. And this one needs to get shifted by 1. What the heck, man? That looks like the same. That's so jank. That's very messed up. What am I doing wrong? I just moved every pixel 1 to the right. So instead of x being 0, x becomes 1, and then instead of x being 16, should be 17. I don't get why that didn't seem to fix anything. Okay. So that one shifted by 1 seems right, because if I shift it by 2, I should see pixels on the right from the next sprite. No. Oh, no. If I do it 1 more, because I gave it the gap, because it cut off the tail there. So if I give it 1 more, yeah, I should see the next sprite. So 1 is correct for that. So why is the X offset when I'm walking? Why does +1 not give me the results I'm expecting? X offset will be 0 at frame 1, which I still need to shift by 1. So when I'm walking, why does it show the Jeez, man. It gets worse. Like, why does it doesn't quite shift. Like, it's not even consistently wrong. That's what gets me, is like it'll show a little bit and then more bit, and then back to a little bit. If I shift X offset by 2 when I'm walking, it's still messed up. I'm still getting that frame behind me. And now 1 pixel more, I'm getting the wrong frame in front of me, and it's cutting off my ass. because I don't want to. I want to keep the same viewport. Like, I don't want to change how wide the picture is because the picture isn't any bigger. I just want to change where it draws the X of the viewport. I really don't get it. That's way off. So if I'm in the air, setting its viewport. Oh. Okay, yeah. That makes sense why it wasn't consistently wrong either. Because the viewport depends on what frame it's on. Yep. Okay. So it's messing up because on frame 6, for example, instead of being its X offset shifted by 1, it's 5 frames in, each of which have a 1 pixel buffer. So it was getting more and more off the more frames I had. So since the viewport draw settings will not affect the actual physics of the bird itself, I'm going to say that it's okay to draw a self-dot width plus 1, because the plus 1, oh no, that okay, how do I fix this? So if I do that self-dot width plus 1, like, it would set the quad to the extra pixel that's blank, which I was thinking, hey, we don't even need that. It's because it's blank anyway. But then that doesn't address the problem we implemented this in the first place, which is without that blank pixel buffer being drawn. You know, it was giving us those problems. So basically, we need to set, so self frame. Shoot, let me think of this. Yeah, X offset is getting its width times its frame minus 1. So at frame 1, it'll give us 0. So we need to do something like multiply, or we need to add the amount of pixels that are on the self frame. So, for example, on frame 5, 5 minus 1 is 4. 4 times 16 is 64. God damn it, I suck at math. 16 times 2 is 32. Times 4 is 64. Yeah, that's all computer science math. And then I'm adding the frame to the X offset, which at frame 1 will not be 0, it'll be the 1 pixel, because we gave it the 1 pixel on the left. Then every subsequent frame, it'll add a pixel for every frame into the quad it is. Then we don't need to change the X offset here, but we will need to change it here. We will, since this is frame 6, we need to add 6, yeah? And since this is 4, we need to add 4, I believe. And this is 5, so we add 5. See, so I'm just getting a bug where, well, first of all, it looks like our problem is fixed. Well, I haven't been able to see those screwed up artifacts. Right there, yeah. So it's like if I'm flying right and then I turn left and then I land, well, yeah, so right now I think the biggest bug in the input is like I'm holding right and then I hold left. And I'm still holding left, yet he's running to the right. So why is that the case? Yeah, that's so messed up. Because so left initiates the skid, but then if I keep left held, he just starts running again. So why would speed tier be incrementing dx to the right when I'm holding left like this? I really don't know. Let me look in my left. So speed tier. Let me see if the opposite is true, where if I go left and then hold brakes to the right. Yeah, I'm holding right still and he's running to the negative dx. That's confusing to me. So I'm just ramping up the speed tier, but I am not so like I think it has to do with the is down logic. Well, yeah, like, because this is this corresponds, oh, here. If I just add a facing boolean, then it shouldn't increase my speed tier. Oy. Let me see. So I think the problem is both my right dx and my left dx can have the same speed tier. Just I guess I'm just curious where I'm telling it that holding down a button increases. So maybe there's a check, like if my dx is positive. Shoot. This is crazy. Because if I'm facing right and left is held, since normally pressing left would change my direction, because changing direction is only in speed tier 0, if I hold left when I'm facing right, meaning I start holding left during a skid animation or something, then I never turn around, and then my speed tier is incremented, and then since I'm not turned around, it's like, oh, you're going the same direction, just faster, when it should turn me around. So I think I need to set the facing boolean here if it's held. Just like I need to set it to true if it's held on right. Because I was never in speed tier 0 while I began holding the input. So as far as the game was concerned, it just knows you're holding left down. And left is the key to hold down if you want to increment your speed tier, but only when you're facing left. So that's why it was speeding me up on the wrong inputs, I think. Let's see. Oh, well, everything's busted. Now I can't even turn right. And right makes me go left. And left makes me go left. Motherfucker. Oh. Ta-da. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. You know what? Let me see. I'm going to pull up the original Joust real quick and let me see, because that did fix the problem I was having. But there's if I keep keys held, it just does some weird behavior, I think. So I'm going to see how this handles it. It's kind of got a see, so if I hold right, then hold left while keeping holding right, it'll just start running left. So like hold, oh god. So it's kind of like the last input you put in overwrites whenever you're holding. Yeah, see, this is a good metric for how mine should work. If I hold, oh my god, right, then hold left, and then let go of left, and then hold left, it should kind of skid to a stop and keep checking. Which mine does not do that at the moment. Yeah. So if I'm holding right, then I hold left. I do slow, but I should be moving to left, and then I let go of right, and I'm still moving to the right. So I fixed like, half of it, or I fixed part of it, but it's not perfect. Let me, where is my notes? Okay. So that's a complicated one. But me figuring out half of it makes me feel like we can figure that out. Okay. So, let's see. I'm going to try to draw a platform here above. And then see if I can't get some basic collision working. So what do we need to implement for a platform? Should we do a platform class? Probably, because platforms have an X, a Y, a width, a height, which are bounding boxes for our axis aligned collision detection. So let us make a platform class. So new file, and it's gonna be called platform.lua. I'm trying to remember the syntax here. It's something like, no, it's like, I do know that we need a load function, and we'll need a update loop, and we'll need the render function. So this is how I do it. Class bracket. And that's from this. Someone wrote this class code in Lua. So it's like inheriting all the things a class can have, I guess. So I will also have to, in my dependencies, require the platform. And this is actually the init, not load. Is that correct? Yeah. And we want it to have an X, a Y, a width, and a height at the very least. And this line of code is just saying whatever argument was passed in as a parameter, you're setting its own Y, its own X to that. You Nope. No, why? Okay. You. Oi. Why do you do that to me? Okay. I'm gonna set the color of this drawable to probably like whatever my ground color currently is. Which is this. And the way you used to have it where, so this is the red channel, green channel, blue channel, alpha channel. So it was saying like, hey, fully opaque, and then RGB is 133, 70, and 15, which should be my floor color, which should be like a brown. So I'll need to go to my play state and give me a platform object initialized at x divided by 3, or the x is a third of the virtual width, so like what, 1/3 in. Its y will be maybe the top third. Actually, let's just do it like halfway. Halfway and then shifted by its height, which we don't have yet, but then its width would be, gosh, I don't know, 40, and then 5 pixels tall maybe. And then we can shift its X by its, shift its Y by, no, let's just see what that looks like. So remember, we got to the code for drawing the platform is in our render function within the class. So we have to say, hey, take this object and run its render code. So let's see if that gives us a platform. 68. I don't know why it doesn't like render. That's because this is render, not draw. See if that gives us a platform. You need a 4th argument to rectangle. Are there not 4 arguments in there, homie? Double quotes. You're kidding me, platform. What is going on? Why you hate this? Does it need this? Bad argument 4. Number expected got nil. Argument 4, would that be you have to do, no, that's a rotated. Yeah, look. Mode XY with height. You know, like platform Lua 16. What is going on here? Single quotes. Why does the official documentation show double quotes and then get mad at me? XY with height. Love.graphics.rectangle. Love.graphics.rectangle. Single quotes. You're still gonna get mad at me, no? I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Ostrich render. just like this is platform render, and then platform 1 render. Platform 1, just like player 1 render. Bad argument number 4. Number expected got nil. Oh, wait. XY width height. So bad it's width. You. Why you do that to me? Okay. Probably my fault. Okay, little platform. Let's do. That needs to be like twice as long. And it needs. Yeah, I'm just going to give it whatever my ground settings are, but color it that yellow. So this 4 pixels tall should be how tall this is. But I want to draw the color of this ground instead. Yep, and then we need twice as long. Twice as long on the width. Cool. It's not like perfectly centered though. Right? Well, maybe. So right now we should just go through it. What the heck happened there? Oh, I just noticed something wrong. I shouldn't be able to increase my speed tier when I'm in the air by holding, which that's not game accurate. So like in the air, speed tier 0, I hold it, it gets up to 5, and then I blast off. That shouldn't be right. So I should only increment the speed tier when it's held when I'm grounded. So speed tier. Here. And grounded. Ramp speed if left is held. And then cool. Yeah. Okay. Now that we've got a platform, let's do some basic collision. So do we do I think we shoot. So I want to do a function that says like, you know, if player 1 collides with platform, then return true and then do some, whatever appropriate logic. But the function, does that go in the play state loop? We write a function. Yeah. Well, I'm getting thrown off because the update. So it's like if we do a function before this update. No. Okay. We'll just do the collides function with the ostrich, or inside the ostrich. So okay. So our collides function needs to be executed on an ostrich class, like player 1. So we could say if player 1 collides with, then the parameter is a thing called a collidable. And a collidable will just need to have an XY width and height. And then we need to return true or false whether or not it collides. So I would guess after this needs to go in the update function. Is that right? It needs to return, it needs to return something in the update function, so that when we call update, we can see if it was true or false. Is that right? No. It's hard to imagine this stuff, because it's like we need to check for collision in the update function. Then we need to return a value in the update function. Is that right? Okay, so maybe we do define the function up here, but then we execute it down in the update function. So the rules for AABB collision is I'm not exactly sure. Oh, here, I can do self. Yeah. So if the ostrich's X is greater than the collidable's X plus collidable's width. Why? Oh, why does it do that? So the AABB collision works like it checks if the leftmost side of one, So leftmost side of the ostrich is past the rightmost side of the collidable after you get its width, then collision is impossible. So we're doing all the conditions that would mean there is zero conditions or not colliding, and then we're going to return false, otherwise return true. So we're going to say if the left side of the ostrich is greater than the rightmost side of collidable, and the rightmost side of the ostrich is smaller than is on the left side of the collidable's x, and the self dot y, the ostrich's y, is greater than collidable's y plus collidable height and self dot y plus self dot height. So if the bottom edge of our ostrich is less than, so above the collidable's y, and if all of those are true, then we know that it is impossible to have a collision. Otherwise, some of those points are intersecting. So okay. So then in our update function, probably before our animation cycle, we can say if see, how do I do that, ostrich? I'm just gonna say I'm trying to debug or set myself up to debug. So if that function returns true, or if that function actually, I think I can just say like instead of doing that, if this function player one collides is a boolean, then I can just say, or I can print it, like How do I insert a Boolean value? That's what I'm doing. I just concatenate it after I transform it to a string. Okay, so if that Boolean gets triggered from that function, or it should print it regardless, but it should, I'm saying printf this Boolean value concatenated with collision at the x of player width minus 20, which maybe this should be minus 40. That's the x. So like 40 pixels from the rightmost side of the screen, and then 5 pixels down from the top. Let me just see if that printf4. Let me just so an x and y, a limit and a line. Text. X, Y. Oh, so printf needs a third argument there, but I think just print doesn't. Yeah. Oopsies. Okay. Well, it's already wrong. But did I not? In the update function, I should have the. Oh no, I took it out. I took out where I put the function to even call. So I'm gonna say player 1 collides with platform 1, and that function will return a Boolean, and then I'm going to be printing that Boolean down here. Nope. Still just true. Just to be funny. I'm going to see if that swaps it. Okay, it does. So do I just have it backwards? Let me see if I once I collide with that. No? It's just not working. So right here, this is saying the X member of the argument that was passed in, which in this case is platform 1. Collides. Player 1 collides platform 1. Maybe player 1 update. Do I need to do it here? No. So I'm not getting an error with that function call. It's just not changing values. I'm a little baffled on like where does that line of code go? Like where do I check for the collision? Because maybe this is, well, can I just do that? Huh. Let me just like, will that throw an error? Yeah, okay. So it can do that? I think this needs to be after. I don't know. Yeah, after. No. So the update function of my ostrich class will update all the values of the ostrich. And part of updating the values is checking for the collision and setting appropriate values based on whether it collides or not. So since right now I'm just checking for collision, I should be able to have it change. Here, let me see. Play platform 1 and player 1. Platform, yeah. And platform class has an X, a width, and a, or X, yeah. It's got an X, a Y, a width, and a height. So it should be able to. The only thing I could think of is like that this function needs to be somewhere else. But like, why not at the top? Like maybe it's got to do. Oh, well, yeah, look at this. I'm not even setting it ostrich values until the init. So maybe my function goes after the init and before the update. False collision. False collision. Shoot. I'm noticing another error. If I'm walking at speed tier 1 and the opposite input is put in, I shouldn't turn around. I should just set my speed tier to 0. Shoot. So, where's my input handling? And if I'm in speed tier 1, here. See, I'm not changing the direction I'm facing when I input that. I should just be taking my speed tier to 0. I'm going to try to explicitly set this here and see if that fixes it, but I don't know why it would be incorrect. Like, I don't know why the facing direction would be different, because I'm not changing it. I'm just setting speed tier equal to 0. See, look, still. Why would I turn right away? It must mean I'm overriding. Let's see. So it's like the problem is I'm in speed tier 1, I'm moving right. I press left, and that makes me face left, which should not be the case. So under what circumstance am I pressing left and that's setting me facing the wrong direction? Right here, this ramp up, because the is down is overriding. Let me just see if that is the case. Yep. But, oh, that doesn't even screw. Okay. I guess I don't know why that was set in the first place. Because if I'm holding left and I'm grounded, oh my gosh. All I know is that looked like it was fixing it, so if it's held down. So when am I, like, that was overriding it. but otherwise it'll get set on that next frame to, by the next time you press right, it'll flip the sprite, or either direction. Okay. My collision is still just always false. Okay. So how about, let me just check the logic of that again. If the leftmost side of my ostrich is bigger than the rightmost side of my collidable, and the rightmost side of my ostrich is smaller than the leftmost side of my collidable, and my top of the ostrich is greater than the collidable's bottom edge, and the bottom edge of my ostrich is smaller than the top of my collidable. Yeah. Then return true for a collide. That can't be right. Huh. It's just not getting toggled. And the collidable I'm passing in right here. I'm passing in platform 1. Now, does this have access to platform 1? Is that the problem here? Platform is in the play state. Yeah. I'm stumped, guys. Do I need to... There's no update logic, so I shouldn't need to update platform. I would need to render it, which I am. Maybe instead of here, I test it. See, that's not right. I was gonna say to just paste it here, but like... False. So maybe I define this function in the update logic because no, that shouldn't matter. So it does matter that it's after the init because that's how it's getting the ostrich values, but it's not getting the correct updated ostrich values. So let's try that. And then I still need to run it. Clear. So yeah, this is the thing that's a little tricksy. Is like this would be a no-no in. Why is this if? What the heck? What? Why are you mad? You've got an end. Why are you? What? Maybe. Oh no. Oh no. I've done this before where I just couldn't find what end I was missing. But it looks like all of these are okay. We just need. What the heck, man? What? Oh no. Why? Hold on. It's really mad I don't have that. I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't know what I'm missing. Why do you hate me? Because this isn't even. Your speed tier is 0 and self-deck grounded then. Why? Oh god. Oh, it's just because this is wrong. Player 1 collides with platform 1. Okay, are you happy now? So, this is tricky because I'm calling this function collides, but this class doesn't know what that is until this line of code down here. Well, so will that even work? It will. Still doesn't work. Okay. I really don't know. Where do I put that function? I put it right before I call it? Nope. I'm stumped. I don't know. But I programmed today. I tried. I fixed a couple things. And I know what to work on next. Okay, so I'm going to review some of my other code and CS50 game dev code and see if I can't figure out why this is just so busted. But we're on our way to getting collision working, so happy about that. I'll see you guys next time.